Hello all, Todd here with a new video. And if you notice, but you may be surprised by the thumbnail. That is the cover of my next book I've been working on in the background for a while now. I'd say it's about a third of the way done. I've been stuck at 100 plus pages for a while now. And yeah. When it comes to art, I've learned it's amazing how many colors, words, images, so many things to express yourself with. The real problem is trying to find the best ones. The words, the colors. There's so many of them that you gotta make them yours. You gotta make them your own. Ownership of it. Like, you know what I mean? Just take words themselves. They're not made to be alone or by themselves. They direct themselves outwards. That energy of knowing, of logic, how it maps out to the mind, language, and all that. It's very fascinating to me. But that's not what I'm talking about. You see, I wrote the two books, well, the one and working on the second one, where I'm trying to use my hero Musashi, Miyamoto Musashi, who I have talked on this channel quite a bit about. A samurai, two swords, was ended due to the Grim Reaper, nothing else, at a time of great war for a long time in Japan. Quite the character. Anyway, this was going to be my kind of two swords, I guess, which is a really stupid idea now I think about it. It's not really. Again, I cringe at it, what I thought about it. Thought it could make a difference, thought it could be better. And my first book dealt with getting out through the woods of the mind and society. Because again, I was told to go to college, told to buy a house, yada yada, and a lot of us were, and that's not possible for a lot of us. It's not a lot of problems are math. I mean, it logically doesn't make any sense. Okay? Like, for instance, I was going to have a job where I made nearly 60 grand a year. And that's nowhere near even the new federal minimum wage, you know? Or the federal poverty scale, I mean, sorry. It's now at 100,000 or so. And I just want to say something. I'm going to probably have a live stream on later, but I want to give kind of a preview here down the road. I want to ask you all a question, a hypothetical thought experiment. If anybody'd like to comment, that'd be great. Very much welcomed. They say now that kids can't read. Most people can't do math that well either. Now, a lot of people see these as bad things. This data they tell you where people can't read, think critically, being just kind of tricked by AI and stuff a lot of the time. And it got me wondering, what world does it make any sense for people not to read? Okay? Let's think about that, because reading's like that's been around for a while. And living in the United States, I think we're going to hit upon a time where a third world country has a better reading rate than America, than the United States. I see that happening down the line, which is very not great news. And my second book helped me postulate this question. If you had a young worker, let's say you were the boss of your own business, not a company, not a franchisee, your business that you take care of all the time. Then you have this one worker that can't read. They're adult. They're adults. They are adults. Theoretically, everybody's an adult. Everybody is an adult in this hypothetical. And a lot of people get mad a lot of the time at people bringing in workers. Now, the only thing I don't like about the whole H-1B and other illegal stuff like that, they're not the best and the brightest. Okay, if they were, fine, but we have proven data on many fronts, on many avenues, that this is not the case. It's due to save cost. Okay, that's it. Not a value, not a metric of meaning, just money. That's it. And I was wondering, what would I do? Because I still want to open some businesses, even though I had two that failed. Well, weren't really my fault, but that's a story for another day. What would I do? I've worked getting this, let's say this business, you got started from nothing, worked to the top, you did marketing, you did ads, you kept on with people, even when nobody supported you, laughed in your face, said you're crazy, go get a job down at the freaking plant like everybody else, yada yada. And you're very attached to it, okay? It's your livelihood, but also your achievement, your pride. And now you have somebody so woefully incompetent, so underqualified, to a harsh extent, and I want to wonder, is that your problem? Because personally, I wouldn't think that. Okay? That's what my second book kind of postulates or proposes. Think about yourself. Push yourself. Because again, I see these worrying bits of data where people can't read or write or do this and that. It's like, man, I don't want to be. And again, this isn't coming from a man who's a super genius or thinks thereof. No, oh, by no means. I'm very average. Very average. Painfully so. I guarantee you that. But I can still read. I can still do the basics. I can still have the standards. Okay? And another thing is like, what about, can you imagine, it's like having a homeschool, being a homeschool parent, having kids who are homeschooled, what you gotta think about the world. Because I applaud homeschool. Okay, I applaud the homeschool. I totally agree with it. Totally support it. Know a lot of people that do it. Great kids, great people, great times all around. And yeah, what do we do when you, again, let's say you raised a kid, homeschooled them from 0 to 18, all under the house, all the time, for better or worse? Wouldn't you want that kid to have every option available chance in their arsenal to make it better for them? Every tool, every technique. And let's say they went to try to go to business with somebody who was from the same, let's say the same hypothetical child went to a business with a kid, 18-year-old, from the public school system that couldn't read, couldn't do math, always needing their hand held, not making it any easier to do a business, which again is extremely hard, very hard to do, very hard. Again, I jumped in too fast, too hard, thought I could trust people, which was not the case. That's what I'm getting at before. It's like, do not put other people's problems as yours, okay? This whole everybody doesn't want to solve their issues and stuff, people laughing about having horrible diseases or being broke all the time, that time's over, okay? Because you can't adapt. That's it. It doesn't matter whatever you can do else if you can't adapt. Because a lot of us, I believe these days, don't feel like winners or losers, just survivors. And that's what I'm trying to pose, is surviving. Survivor's better. And it's just like, you can't do that. You can't keep worrying about people that are not going to pull their weight. Okay? And that's what this second book is meant to do. It's meant to give you heads up. Don't become prey to other things, other people. Now, it's not antisocial or anything, okay? I'm not saying cut off people, but just be very, very picky and choosy, as people are today, and I don't blame them. Really. I think people are too choosy to a point. I'll give you that. We should be realistic. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, I'd say it's not your problem. Society and people in general should stop asking other people to take on their own burdens. Okay? Again, like I've said before, those student loans are my issues. Those are my problems. I do not expect anybody who watches videos or not to pay for them. That's not your problem. It's not your issue. It's a correct diagnosis of the problem that I made for myself. Okay? And yeah, before you say anything, yeah, I do think it's completely unfair that life they did me this way. A lot of people feel that way. And that's why I say build a business so you'll have mobility. You can go places, you can do things, you'll have options. Owning a business that you won't have if you didn't. Okay? And that's what I'm hoping is that next generation that can think, that can adapt, can do it. And the ones that can't, oh well, that's nature. If you can't adapt, it doesn't matter. That's why I'm trying to do YouTube and stuff and all that, trying to adapt, trying to understand better about a lot of things. Because I clearly was not given the correct education from high school, from kindergarten to high school. Oh, shut up. Sorry, my dog is just whining about taking him out. Thank you. Have a nice day. Like, share, and subscribe.